You ever sent off a proposal and then the client ghosts you and you're left figuring out WTF happened and what went wrong because they seemed super enthusiastic before? Yeah, me too. But I know exactly why it happens in 99% of cases, and I'm going to give you the steps to prevent it in this video. Hey, I'm Cheryl. Welcome back to my channel where I inconsistently upload all the things to help you become a better freelancer by designing a business that works with who you really are and supports you in all the ways. If you're curious about how to make freelancing work for your ADHD brain, make sure you take my quiz, the link is in the comments down below, to find your neurodivergent freelancer archetype and get tips personalized just for you. Now, let's start with a scenario. You've had a call or two with a potential client, right? And they ask you for a proposal. They seem interested and you feel like you've sort of got enough info to do it, so you draft up the proposal. You include a few different options for how you can help them and make it super duper clear what each option includes, so it's really easy for them to pick an option based on what they need. You sprinkle in some testimonials, social proof, samples, benefits, all the things, and then you drop it into their inbox with a "let me know if you have any questions," and then you never fucking hear from them again. Repeated follow-ups be damned. So what happened? Well, let's go back to the play-by-play to figure it out. 1, you had a call or two with the potential client and then they ask you for a proposal. That's the first red flag. If you've had a couple of calls with a client already and you're not proposing solutions on the call and then initiating the proposal process yourself, you don't know enough to be submitting a proposal. Proposals are won or lost in the discovery phase. These initial calls need to be filled with questions for your clients about their goals, their challenges, their obstacles, and what they want to achieve with you, what they think is stopping them, what their upside is, aka how much more they can make if you succeed, how well they're insulated from any downside, aka is this all of their money, what other types of budgetary constraints and approval process you are up against. You need to know all of this before making a proposal, or you're just sending a rough draft of ideas over to the client and they've got zero investment in it and will likely discard the whole thing, aka ghost you. If they're asking for a proposal, this is kind of the equivalent of, okay, can you send over some info to get you off the phone and stop wasting their time? Not all of the time, but 90% of the time this is the case. You've probably already lost the project before you even send the pitch at this point. Sorry. You feel like you've sort of got enough info. See point number 1. Unless you've got all the info that you can actually use to fully diagnose their problem and recommend the best course of action to suit their goals, their challenges, and their budget, you don't know enough, not even remotely close. If you can get the client into a discovery call and ask the right questions, you might be able to save this. But if you don't feel confident you know enough to diagnose the problem and recommend a solution, don't send a pitch. 3, you included a few different options for how you can help them so they can pick the one they want. But good clients don't want to pick. The best clients want you to pick. They want you to expertly diagnose their problem and recommend a singular solution. If you're offering options in your proposal, you're sending it too soon. You need to work with the client during the discovery process to ask all those questions we've already talked about and then offer a diagnosis. Tell the client what you think is wrong and how you think you can solve it. Talk about what you can do and what it'll cost and what you think they'll get out of it on the call. Get them to agree, get them on board and sold on your solution. Then send a proposal as a formality to put on paper what you've already agreed to. Let me know if you have any questions. Number 4, if I had $1 for the number of times I've said this in my life, I wouldn't have to freelance anymore. But it's really not something you should be saying in an email where you're trying to sell something. That's not a direct call to action. There's nothing specific, and you're opening up the conversation to questions rather than agreement. So here's what to do instead. 1, do super deep discovery with your clients. Learn everything you can and diagnose their problems on a call. Get them to agree to a likely solution. Get them excited. Then tell them you want to sort out the specifics and book another call. 2, build a proposal-ish. A slideshow or a PDF that walks through exactly what you'll do to solve the client's problems and what it'll cost. During that next meeting, screen share and walk them through the document so you can address their questions at each step. Walk them through your summary of their problem, your diagnosis, your proposed solution, the exact steps, the timelines, and the cost, answering questions at each step along the way. Ask them at the end when you can get started. Let them talk. If they hesitate, ask them what else they need to make a decision. Let them talk. answer the rest of their questions, and schedule another follow-up call if needed. When you're ready to start, then send over the proposal with a spot for you and the client to sign as your agreement on the work, of course with proper contracts attached, and an invoice for the deposit. Done. Doing this ensures you'll never get ghosted on a proposal again because it's basically impossible. The client can only choose not to meet with you again, but they're already sold on the solution, so they're going to show up. And you're never stuck waiting to hear back on the proposal because you walk through it with them. You answer their questions as they arise. You prevent a ton of miscommunication and misunderstanding by being present when they see it for the first time. Bonus tip. If a client asks you to send over some info or a proposal before you feel ready, you can say, I usually don't like to do that until we've agreed on the best course of action and I can make some solid recommendations. Is this something you want to explore further? And then let them either graciously say no or book a real discovery call and ask them all the questions. If you learned something today, make sure you subscribe so I know people are actually watching. It helps my brain stay motivated to keep creating for you. Make sure you give this video a like too because it helps YouTube know that I'm cool and they should share my content with more people. Bye for now.